Hi, I'm Chris Van Hollen, and I'm proud to represent Maryland in the United States Senate. And I'm honored to be a recipient of this year's Congressional Champion Award. I want to thank In Defense of Christians for your efforts to prioritize support of human rights and religious liberty in our foreign policy, and to advocate for Christians and other members of religious minority communities across the Middle East. That mission is deeply bound to our nation's founding promises and principles. America's history as a haven for religious freedom stretches back generations. My home state of Maryland was originally founded by colonists who hoped to establish a safe haven for Roman Catholics who were fleeing religious persecution in England at the time. And I'm pleased that today, Maryland is home to a diverse group of faiths and people who are free to practice their religious beliefs and worship as they choose. We must work together to ensure those same rights extend to people around the world. In the Middle East, Christian communities and other minorities endure serious and ongoing threats and pressure, including efforts to erase their history and religious traditions, and to fan dangerous conspiracies against them to boost populist, nationalist agendas. And we know that has been the case in Turkey under President Erdoğan. His government has repeatedly violated international law and human rights in a number of areas, including through the persecution of individuals based on religious faith. We cannot and will not turn a blind eye to Ankara's malign actions and must take a firm stance against conduct that threatens the principles of human rights, religious liberty, equal justice, democracy, and the rule of law. I was pleased that earlier this year, President Biden joined the United States Congress in officially recognizing the Armenian Genocide, which resulted in the forced deportation of around 2 million Armenians and the death of nearly 1.5 million men, women, and children during the Ottoman period. President Biden's action was a step in the right direction, but it's also vital that we follow up words with strong deeds. Turkey has repeatedly violated international law and human rights, and we must work in concert with our faithful NATO allies and our EU partners to hold Turkey more accountable. Experience tells us that Turkey and many other countries will respond only when there is a clear price to be paid for their actions. And we can see by his actions that President Erdoğan has not gotten the message. Just 1 year ago, Turkey carried out a highly politicized, targeted campaign against several former Byzantine-era churches, which had been preserved for public access for decades as museums by previous Turkish governments going back to modern Turkey's founder, Kemal Atatürk. The historic Hagia Sophia, the Christian center of Byzantium, was for nearly 1,000 years the largest and most important house of Christian worship in the world, and the Monastery of Christ at Kora was one of the most important surviving churches of the 13th and 14th century. Both were turned into mosques by the Turkish government last summer. This high-profile move was a major blow to religious pluralism and tolerance around the world, and it comes amid other indications of ongoing religious intolerance in Turkey, including accelerating the pace of entry bans and deportations of non-Turkish leaders of Protestant congregations, and continued efforts to restrict the ability of minority religious groups to train their clergy. There is no legislative cure-all for those who practice this intolerance of religious freedom, but I am confident that by working together, we can advance our mission of protecting Christians and other religious minorities in the Middle East and around the world, ensuring greater religious freedom, and defending human rights. I look forward to continuing to work with IDC in this shared endeavor.